Hi, good afternoon. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. On behalf of the N.Y.U. Journal of International Law and Politics, I'd like to welcome you to the 24th Annual Herbert, Rubin, and Justice Rose Luttan Rubin International Law Symposium, entitled Around the World on One Belt, One Road, Foreign Capital Competition and Development in the 21st Century. Today we will be discussing the changing dynamics of global development finance policy within the context of China's Belt and Road Initiative. Announced in 2013 by People's Republic of China President Xi Jinping, the Belt and Road Initiative is a $1 trillion global infrastructure investment plan that focuses on enhancing trade networks between China and the rest of the world through a belt of overland corridors and a road of maritime shipping lanes. Countries across Asia, Europe, Africa, and South America have pledged support. Beijing has boasted that it is the project of the century. Many have compared it to the US-led Marshall Plan that rebuilt Europe after World War II. President Xi has described the initiative as economic cooperation and an open and inclusive process. While some countries have welcomed the financing from China, others, including most recently Sierra Leone, Malaysia, and Pakistan, have started to push back. Is the Belt and Road Initiative an economic cooperation initiative, a stimulus for a slowing Chinese economy, or a new form of economic imperialism through debt trap diplomacy? Is it an answer to Western development efforts led by institutions such as the World Bank that have too often fallen short in the past, or a play for global military and economic influence and dominance by China? Or is the Belt and Road Initiative some combination of these? My personal introduction to this topic came during the summer of 2017 when I was working in Kampala, Uganda as an N.Y.U.-sponsored International Law and Human Rights Fellow. Uganda's capital city of Kampala is about 51 kilometers north of the town of Entebbe, home to Uganda's only international airport. Until recently, the drive from Kampala to Entebbe would take about 2 hours on the two-lane Entebbe highway. In August 2017, as I traveled from Kampala to Entebbe at the end of the summer to fly back here to New York, I watched in amazement from the car window as Chinese and Ugandans worked to expand the highway to 4 lanes. Trucks labeled with China Communications Construction Company lined the roadside. The once 2-hour trip will now take just 30 minutes once construction has been completed. Ugandans will now have a much easier commute between the nation's capital and the nation's airport, thanks to the $350 million project. There is no doubt that the expanded road in itself will have a positive effect on the quality of life of Ugandans. However, the Entebbe Highway Construction Project was granted to this Chinese state-owned enterprise through a non-competitive bidding process. Some Ugandan leaders are openly concerned that the nation will be crippled by new debt, as China has loaned Uganda nearly $3 billion as part of the Belt and Road Initiative, and could potentially lend $2.3 billion more in the near future. What are the long-term costs of projects such as the Entebbe Highway Project on the citizens and governments of host nations like Uganda? We are here today to analyze and discuss the dynamics this anecdote represents. I hope that today's discussions will serve to unpack the political, legal, economic, and cultural implications of the changing dynamics of development finance in today's world, as well as identify new questions for future research in areas of scholarship. Today's symposium would not be possible without the generous support over the last 24 years of Mr. Herbert Rubin and the support of his late wife, the Honorable Justice Rose Luttan Rubin. JILP is very grateful for the support and commitment of the Rubins, without which we would not be able to do the work we do. In addition, we are grateful for the support of our faculty advisor, Professor Frank Upham, who has actively supported and assisted the development of this symposium since February of this year. Unfortunately, Professor Upham is unable to join us today due to illness. He sends his deepest regrets, and I know we all wish Professor Upham a speedy recovery. I would also like to thank Jerry Holton of N.Y.U Tandon School of Engineering and Dr. Shirtong Chow of the University of Hong Kong for their guidance and advice in the early planning stages. I would like to thank JILP's Editor-in-Chief, Alyssa Wall, for her support and assistance in planning and executing today's symposium. Lastly, I would like to thank our esteemed group of panelists for joining us today for a discussion of this important and timely topic. In planning today's panels, our aim was to bring together academics and practitioners from a variety of perspectives to analyze the complexity of China's emergence as a global development actor